You probably know him as Richard the Lionheart, the legendary English king and crusader hero. But what if I told you the story you know is only half the truth? Let's uncover the real Richard, a man far more complex and controversial than the legends suggest. First off, did you know that this iconic English king barely spent any time in England? Out of his 10-year reign, he was in the country for maybe 6 months total. He didn't even speak English, preferring French, the language of the Angevin court he grew up in. His heart and his focus was always on his continental territories in France, which he fought tooth and nail to protect. England, for him, was mostly just a source of money to fund his real passion, warfare. Speaking of warfare, his reputation as a brilliant military strategist is well deserved. His victories during the Third Crusade are the stuff of legend. But his lion heart also had a ruthless, brutal side. After capturing the city of Acre, he ordered the execution of nearly 3,000 Muslim prisoners, men, women, and children. It was a shocking act of cruelty, even by the standards of the time, and it casts a dark shadow over his heroic image. And what about his famous rivalry with Saladin? While they were fierce enemies on the battlefield, they also shared a strange, chivalrous respect. There are accounts of them exchanging gifts and even doctors. Saladin once sent Richard fresh fruit and ice to help him recover from a fever. It's a fascinating detail that shows the human side of this epic conflict. Finally, his death wasn't in a glorious battle against a mighty army. Richard the Lionheart was killed by a crossbow bolt fired by a young boy while besieging a minor, insignificant castle in France. It was a surprisingly mundane end for such a larger-than-life figure. He died not for a grand cause, but in a squabble over treasure. So, the next time you hear the name Richard the Lionheart, remember the man behind the myth. A French-speaking king who barely saw England, a brilliant but brutal commander, and a legendary warrior who met an almost anonymous end. The real story is always more interesting than the fairy tale. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into history, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more untold stories. See you next time.